What I hate
I
are
don't know what you hate.
those
I think we're live.
passkeys on everything.
Sweet. Okay, I think that we're officially live. I just need to do one thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on. Sorry it took a little bit. It's my first time using Restream, I think StreamYards, whatever it is. So have the Brody Spicy Rich on here helping me out, getting rolling for the first time, celebrating the end of the year. So big welcome and thank you to him as well.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I've been dying to get him on this to do one with me. So I am like more than happy right now.
Yeah, he has been for a minute. So it is long overdue. I'm trying to figure out real quick. I want to make sure I'm going to send out a post. Let's go over here. I'm going to send out a post. I want to make sure that there's no reverb in the background. But we're going to get this rolling here in a second. We'll go live on the live screen. So copy. Let's see. I got to go into the video, share video. Actually, I've got a better idea. All right.
If you're trying to, you have to add it to stage.
Boom. I'm about to add it to stage right now. Okay. Yeah, y'all, again, I'm sorry. I am definitely the noob when it comes to using this type of stuff, but it's fun. So also, like, I want to hear feedback from y'all as well. Like, let me know if the mic is too loud, not loud enough for either of us, because
perfect. I'm jealous of it.
Well, I mean, he's saying that because he got me the mic back in the day as a gift. So either that or you just picked it out for me. I forgot. Maybe I bought it. Like, maybe you just told me what to buy. I think that you got it as a gift.
No, I had our mom buy it.
Okay, well, there you go. It was a Christmas gift a couple years back. So I have not gotten enough use out of it. Like, it's a really good mic.
Microphone Shure SMB is like the top tier mic in the industry. So
okay, so before we get going any further, I want y'all to do one thing for me. Just go over here to one of these two posts. Just give this a like and a retweet and get people in here. I think the more people that are in here, I mean, this one's probably better. Like, and then drop a comment too. Like, I don't know, say anything you want. You can be ridiculous and say be more bullish. You can say anything else that you want. But yeah, the more people in here, the merrier. The other thing that I want you to do, I want you to go over here and I want you to follow Spicy Rich, the man of the hour. So go ahead and do that. If you have not checked out DeFi Digs and you want the best swag in the industry, go check it out. So with that, Rich, how are you feeling right now? Last day of 2025 before going into the new year.
Horrible. Oh my God, dude. I'm like, I've already, on my stuff, I've already told everyone it's been a bad year for not just me, but for everyone. I think that, like, I have a full-time job that I'm doing other stuff in, but if I did not have that, I think that I would be even more depressed, because if you're a builder and, you put, like, 2025 is a crazy time to put a lot of your capital into a project, right? And I know there's a lot of projects that put a lot of money into it and they're not seeing as many people buy in or spend money right now because no one has money. So, like, where do you get it from and how do you restart after 2025?
It's tough, man. I mean, it's one of those things, like, I think cool seeing some airdrops that people are getting, like the lighter airdrop, I think was a top 10 airdrop in crypto history that happened the other day. But the issue is, I think a lot of the people that received that airdrop were down pretty bad before that it happened. And I think a lot of those people just aren't really in the, like, they were risk on whenever they wanted to farm something. But I think one of the issues that you really run into with a lot of the different dApps that are out there right now, without farming incentive, there are a lot of people that just aren't as interested because there's going to be another app out there that's doing that. So you're getting this dilution across ecosystems. And I think that's one of the other reasons that has led toward things like CT just not feeling quite as active, not just because of the prices are down, but because you have like this dilution of users across different ecosystems. And each one of these ecosystems was an echo chamber. And when you start to kind of lose the core of those echo chambers, I think that it like really just needs this reset back to the center before things really start to get going again. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's going to drive that is some type of bullish price action with Bitcoin.
Well, that's what I was going to ask is like, I mean, I don't know about it for you. I know you've been on here since 2017. Is that when you started?
Yeah, 2017.
So 2017, you've been posting on X. So you've seen it throughout its whole history, or not whole history, but most of crypto Twitter's history. I have only came in to crypto Twitter in the last year. So I came in and everything is super hot. People are posting a lot, you know, different communities are going crazy. And now it seems like when I get on X, it feels pretty dead. I don't know. I think maybe people are just taking a break. Maybe it's the holidays, but that's what I was going to ask is why do you think just price action? Do you think that's why so many people haven't been on and posting and interacting?
I mean, price action, number one, but number two, I mean, like I said, going back to the lighter airdrop, people that are getting that airdrop, for instance, a lot of the people are just recouping some of the losses that they had to be able to earn the token in the first place. Not every single person that's on there had this massive P&L to be able to get there. I mean, like if you look at the trenches, the state of the trenches in general, I mean, BTC is only down, whatever. Let's see, from its peak, BTC is down officially 30% right now, which I mean, honestly, like really isn't terrible. When you look at the history of Bitcoin, that's not too bad. I think one of the issues with it too is it's just kind of been slow and choppy. But when you're looking at the majority of alts, things are down 90+% across the board. And there just hasn't been much relief. And you also have right now, like it feels like prediction markets have kind of taken over the trenches, like what you just highlighted with Captain Dank. Shout out to the Fantardio. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things. It's just, dude, get that Seahawks crap off the screen.
Oh, come on.
What's up, Pytho? Bro, we need a revival across the board. So yeah, man, I mean, 2025, I think it's just been rough. It's been more flat than anything else. We've seen a little bit of stuff that's popped off in different niches, but I think nothing really toward the expectation of what a lot of people, including myself, thought. You know, the one bright side that I'll say to that, I really think I have a hard time believing that this is a traditional 4-year cycle where the top is in, things bleed off from here over the next couple years before we see any type of rebound. I think it's an extended cycle. So an extended cycle means an extended base before that real ramp up. And I really do still expect that ramp up coming sometime next year.
So what do you think about companies who did put a ton of money into different investments and, you know, things aren't as hot right now. They're not seeing as much volume on their platforms. How many like companies are going to just go under during this period though?
I mean, companies, projects, whatever you want to see, like at the end of the day, you need X amount of revenue and runway to be able to keep going. So, you know, no company is a charity case. At the end of the day, if they're not producing enough revenue and they don't have enough runway to be able to survive, you know, you're going to see some that I think mismanaged funds and didn't expect things to go down the way that they did and probably will bleed out before we keep going up. But, ideally, I think that like a lot of the bigger names have seen enough of these downfalls that I wouldn't be worried about any. I mean, right now, I'm not worried about any real centralized exchange threats in the same way as what we saw with FTX back in the day. But I think we'd need another like major October 10th type event with Bitcoin before. Like, if anything, the thing that I'm worried about at the end of the cycle, I'm not worried about it quite yet, but I'm worried about the DAT bubble eventually bursting. Like the MSTRs, all that type of stuff eventually. That's the thing I think later on, and another couple years from now, if we see a massive run up, crash back down, I could see that being a real issue. I don't think we're quite there yet, just because, again, call me crazy, but I still do think that there are a lot of reasons to believe that Bitcoin, ETH, a bunch of the other majors still haven't really seen the true marks of the real bull market yet. And I think that we could see that following what we've seen with assets like, silver, gold, etc., going into next year. I still think, again, it's kind of crazy overlaying. Like, you look at QQQ right here. Shoot, I'm going to go ahead and show my screen. You're not sharing. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen real quick with everybody. So you look at QQQ right here, and this is the fractal that I've been comparing and tracking since April. Whenever back in April, I don't know if anybody remembers, everybody was like, shit, the market's dead. It's gone up too much. This tariff crash is going to end everything. Reminded a lot from a sentiment perspective of what we saw during COVID. If you go back a few years during COVID, everybody thought everything was dead and gone. What ended up happening? A V recovery to new all-time highs. And once it got to new all-time highs, a little bit after, right, you ended up seeing this crash right here. And back during September, that first down period really marked a similar crash with crypto, who had, Bitcoin had been underperforming during that period. Alts outside of like what you saw with DeFi were pretty stagnant as well. And you didn't really see a lot of fun happening until right about here for crypto. And if you look at what's happening with QQQ right now, again, that same V-type recovery, right? And you're seeing some chop. And I think, like, could we see another retest here? Kind of like how you saw this had one, bled off, retested those highs, bled off again one more time to the lows and ramped up. I could see that happening. And I could see, where Bitcoin and where the crypto market starts to heat up is on that breakout above these highs right here, similar to what we saw in 2020, 2021. So I don't know. It's one of the things I'm looking for right now. Could it be wrong? Sure. But, until these lows are blown out, then I still have hope that I think this is the price action / could inspire another run.
Show us where you were when you entered into the SLV options that you ended up selling.
That's embarrassing.
No, I'm curious because that's a crazy, like, just how much
I don't want to. Okay, I need to. It's crazy, man, because like this is one I really believed in, and greed / wanting to go for the faster horse is what got me. So if you look at this, I had been tracking this also. There are a few other things that I like back at the beginning of the summer where I was like, dude, silver's about to run. There's no way that it doesn't after what we saw with gold. I looked at a similar fractal of a recent breakout, literally played out perfectly. Like, I haven't touched this thing since the summer. So if you look at it, where I started stacking them was, where's June? I thought I was a little bit, it was right here. Yeah, right there. And I sold, let's see, right there. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm embarrassed. I thought I'd have just a little bit longer. Like, to rotate back in, it was just really poor decision making.
I mean, dude, but that's tough because, those were 2027 calls, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that was what was tough about it. They were $50 SLV calls for 27. $50. So like the amount they cost like $1.10 each. They're already sitting at $15+. I'd be able to roll that into something else by now, take profit. Like, yeah, it's painful, but it is what it is. Somebody asked what happened October 10th. What happened October 10th?
The liquidation event.
Bro, the liquidation event across the market is what happened October 10th. You can see it here with Bitcoin, but not as an extreme level. Alts, I mean, bro, we can look at some alts like SWE, for instance. Bro, look at this. 340 down to 57 cents. You can look at AVAX, went from 28 down to 850. Like, there was just carnage across the board.
Like, that was a brutal event in itself, but then no one expected it to just keep dumping for 3 or 2 more months. And that's the part that I think.
Well, there were some people that did. To be fair, there were a few people.
Yeah, I mean, there are. Yano posted the other day that each cycle experienced a cataphoric fraud event where retail got crushed except this cycle. Do you agree there was no fraud this cycle?
I mean, no. Like, I definitely think that there were a lot of other minor events that happened throughout the period, right? If nothing else, you could look at like the meme coin carnage of different, how retail was just scraped through by different things like Trump. For instance, billions of dollars was poured into Trump and bled out. I think that like you could look at things like the Libra coin, which was a pure scam from day one. The Argentinian president sitting out there shilling it, and then Hayden Davis ripping everybody. I do think that there were things where a lot of the people within the trenches did experience a similar type of, it wasn't exactly the same as something like FTX. But, and then October 10th in general, I mean, like, that was a huge black swan, but like, anybody that was levered at that point, I mean, man, that type of wick, I have not seen across the board like that before. And, from market makers pulling liquidity,
I think that's what scared public investors, just like the normal average Joe person. It's like, obviously something like that where what was it? How many billion liquidated in just, an hour or two? I don't know what it was, but it was crazy. And then literally since then, people have just been slowly pulling out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is crazy, though, when you think about it. Someone said it earlier, talking about prediction markets, how those are taking over the trenches, right? Captain Dank. So what are your thoughts on prediction markets? Do you think they're way too oversaturated? Because I swear I see the Kalshi ads on everything. I see the what's it called?
I still think they have a lot of room for growth, man, just because you look at the next, like, it really is something that right now is integrating retail and crypto together. So it's one of the first, I look at it as potential mainstream dApps that does both. I like it from the perspective that I think it is the truest source of data that is really out there. So that's my big thing as far as, where I think prediction markets are fun. I'm not the guy that's going to sit there and say, I'm not going to put a bunch of money and speculate on prediction markets. I'm not, but I do like to track the data. And I think it's very interesting to keep track of that data. But I think that like a lot of retail's bored and they're looking for something that has some type of volatility. So that's where a lot of people are going, not just to track the data, but to be able to get that thrill, the dopamine rush that they had with memes or, whatever other alts that we've seen with previous cycles. So there is a lot of money that has rotated over to that. I don't really see the trend slowing down right now. What do you think?
I mean, personally, I think that it's kind of crazy. Like I think it was RSMR or whatever his name is, or Rasmer.
Rasmer.
Yeah, Rasmer posted about it, or I think it was them, but maybe it was Jakey. They posted, they went to the Houston airport and they ended up seeing, I think it was like Texit token or something. And it was crazy because you're seeing so many different things being tokenized. And then also now prediction markets. I'm seeing ads for Kalshi and what's the other one? I keep going blank.
Polymarket, Kalshi are the two majors right now.
So I mean, just seeing ads for them everywhere, like the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. He had a massive Polymarket chain on his chest. Like they're just dropping. I mean, it's got to be hundreds of millions of dollars on just marketing.
Yeah.
Maybe not hundreds of millions, but yeah, millions and millions of dollars.
I mean, I think what's interesting though, too, there are a lot like, you know, what Mert did recently with building his own custom prediction market page. I think that there are going to be more people that implement some of those type of builds where you can take the.
What is Mert?
So Mert, like Ox Mert, the Solana guy, he built a Solana prediction page dedicated basically directly to that. And you integrate with the Kalshi API and you can build your own market. I think that he gets a cut of whatever fees end up trading through that. I think that it's settled on Solana. You know, there's a way to be able to leverage that to where creators, I think, can build specific markets geared toward their, you know, whatever their interest is. So I do think there's a lot of potential for the average person with that also. You know, at the end of the day, I really think that prediction markets, for me, the best thing about them is just the access to the data. Again, I'm not one of those guys where I'm going to be putting thousands of dollars onto something because I think that I have an edge about will it drop by X date or Y date, but I will be the guy that's looking on there to be able to, you know, see, okay, where's the smart money going toward this? And, you know, when can I expect a certain event to happen by? Because I do think that like there are indicators for that and that can help you from certain perspectives. Like, you know, should you just keep your hands off right now? Like which honestly, with the way the market's been, bro, kind of just being patient, looking for things that you can build, looking for things that you can like just finding ways to survive. I think staying plugged in with community, doing whatever you can. I don't know, man. Right now, until volatility is back, and especially bullish volatility, it's kind of just a waiting game. And that's what a lot of the crypto experience is if you've been around for long enough.
I wasn't here for the first dip in AVAX, but I know a lot of people did end up entering in around, you know, $8 to $10. But to see it now for a newcomer to come in and then see it go from, what was that at the beginning of the year?
45 or something.
Yeah, it went up to 45. Now it's back at, what is it, 12 or 11 or something. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But here's another stat. 2021, Kalshi in volume, guess what they did?
Shoot, like total for the year?
Total.
50 million?
10 million in 2021. In 2022, 76 million. 2023, 183 million. 2024, 1.9 billion. And then get this, 2025, 24.2 billion. That's a 12x increase from 2024. It's crazy.
That is crazy. Well, you know, a couple other things though too. Okay, first off, happy New Year's to anybody that it's New Year's for, because I guess it is 2026 for some people. But even right now, like a live stream, we only have like 3,500 people that have stopped in so far. I feel like for this type of a live stream, you know, on a typical day, this is up to like 10,000 by now, as far as like total views that have stopped by. So I even look at it like, I think that it's also just a nature. And I've seen this before with previous years that I've been around. Like during the holidays, man, I mean, it's tough to stay as plugged in to the social scene. You're doing stuff with friends, you're doing stuff with family. You know, like the end of the year sell-off is a real thing as far as people that are trying to tax loss harvest and take gains, do it at like, you know, it is a real thing, man. Like, so I think that like I have seen multiple years where things don't really start to heat up again until the end of January. And I think we probably have a little bit longer of this kind of doldrum price action before we really start to heat up again. So I think that we've got a little bit. I don't think that's any excuse to walk away. But I do think that it is a big part of kind of some of those reduced engagement metrics that you might be seeing right now as well.
So I heard what the new meta is. Do you want to know what it is?
Let's hear it.
It's daycare centers. That's apparently that's the new meta.
It. So how do we bring daycare centers to the blockchain and like how do you
tokenize it?
Can we get subsidy for a metaverse daycare center? Because I think it's a real thing that should be looked at, probably more legit than any of the Somali run ones in Minnesota. And here's what I'm getting at. I think that there's a mental health crisis with young men, women also in this country that have been struggling with online dependency and dopamine rush from things like crypto that are just not getting that hit right now. And honestly, they might need a daycare. So we could sell passes to this daycare that's in the metaverse, but I think that is a huge untapped market that has not been reached out into yet. So I think it's a huge thing that it's a good point. How do we do it?
I mean, shoot, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. I was oh wait 1 second. Yeah, so I was FYI, this is some of the chat from the arena, but anyways, I was basically looking into this because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just look myself and see what daycares are around me, right? And I got on my phone, looked it up, and there's 2 daycares that I saw. One of them is just at a random apartment complex. All of the reviews say, how do I get in contact with them? How do I get in contact with them? I can't find them. And another one was a house that I happen to walk by all the time, and I've never seen any kids there. It is crazy.
I mean, again, my point being, I guarantee you that a metaverse-based daycare center, it is more than needed. Like we need to file for some type of like we could just have computer screens set up around the room.
Yes.
And you can call it an office, but we'll call it a daycare.
Or a subsidized school or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm messing with the layout. Please forgive me.
No, dude. Yeah, for anybody that's in there, we're still trying to figure out what
here's how
getting a feel for everything.
Let me fix something real quick. Here we go. So you can actually create new custom layouts. So this is another new custom layout.
Nice.
But yeah, the Somali daycare center thing is crazy. I mean, I think they said it was up to 8 to 10 billion just in Minnesota. And then now Washington State has found millions of dollars, something similar. But $1 equals 1 Pengu.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
XRPT Octagram
I'm all for that. I do believe it. You know, like I'll show. We're running a little low on time because I think Rich has to go to a New Year's Eve thing soon, and my girlfriend will probably be mad if I don't wrap up and start getting ready soon myself. But I'll show those comparisons one of the next time, like Pengu to Pepe back in the day, when everybody thought Pepe was dead and gone, and had never come back, and look what it did. I think Pengu is going to be in a similar boat this next year. The other thing I was going to shoot, what was I going to bring up? Oh yeah, this is completely random. I stole this hoodie from Rich also. It's a great one. But I just realized while I was looking, I was going to wear my Wonky Stonks one. And I realized I left it at the basketball court. Like it's just sitting there, and I've got to hope and pray that, because I love that hoodie, I've got to hope and pray that it's in the front desk whenever I go there tomorrow. And I'm going to have to play basketball again tomorrow because I've got to pick it up.
Dude, but I thought you hurt your ankle again.
I mean, everything's hurting my legs, my knee, my ankles, like all the above. They're just always hurt.
Can you touch the rim anymore?
I could still grab the rim.
I don't think I don't think I could.
Bro, you can still dunk it. Like,
no, I don't. I honestly don't think I could anymore. Like I'm really out of shape. I don't think you understand.
Beginning of this year, I kid you not, beginning of the year, I could dunk a volleyball. Like,
no way.
I got back up to doing a volleyball before I messed up my knee again.
Dude,
so I haven't. Now I can just grab the rim. I can barely do a tennis ball, like, if I'm lucky.
But I mean, that's good. I remember you were going to the gym like at least every day for like a solid period when you were single, especially. But
so I've not been lifting again. That's something else that's coming back.
Dude, you were jacked.
Coming back at the beginning of this next year. I've got to start lifting again, but I've been playing basketball every day the past few days. It was actually cool for the first time. And it's sad to say, but I mean, it's kind of true. I'm just like the white guy that hustles out there on the court, like kind of the token white guy.
I love those.
Kind of the token white guy. I like to be the glue guy on the court. And today was the first time, whenever everybody was showing up for the lunch runs, that I had two guys fighting for me to want to be on their squad, picking me up. It was the first time, and it was for game number 1. I had one guy that was like, nah, like, I already picked him up for, he's on my squad for the second one. Of the guys like, nah, I want him right now. It was like one of the first times I've actually been around where because typically, I mean, it sounds bad again, but it's true. One of the places that you really do experience just being a minority and maybe look differently at for the color of your skin as a white man is a basketball court. And it has taken, I feel like, years to be able to build enough credibility with these guys to be able to get to that point.
Nothing feels better than getting picked. Especially when you're the white boy on the court.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal, though. My stats for the day. I was 0 for 4 in my 2 games. Okay. 0 for 4, though, but I guarantee you, dude, I was close to like 15 plus rebounds, few steals, like bunch of really good screens that were set, like, some assists here and there. So like, that's where I feed. I love just like when you set a good screen for somebody and you're like this and you just see like another man fall to the ground.
You like
there's
that?
A good feeling about it.
I think
good feeling. Like,
I'll be real. Know. I would rather pick someone who hustles than someone. You know what I hate, and I know you hate this too, is going to like an LA Fitness or a 24-hour fitness and then having someone who just hogs the ball every play and like acts like he's Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I would way rather pick someone like you who hustles or tries to play defense than doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, I'm sorry to get off topic for y'all, but that was it. It was cred. Within the realm of, because the Wonky Stonks hoodie was left at the court. So hoping that it's got to be back, and I've got to go back there tomorrow and play again to be able to pick it up and also work off the calories. Dude, I don't like this view as much. I like this one better.
Okay.
I don't know. Y'all tell me though, which one you guys like better, because again, we're kind of just figuring it out right now. But yeah, goals for next year. Let's see. No serious leg injuries. Bitcoin back above 100K. ETH back above 5K. We're going to start small. These are goals for the first half of the year. Just a resurgence in the trenches, but like not necessarily just, I don't want to see a resurgence in a bunch of new memes popping up every day. I want to see a concentration into established communities. Right. And then just like dApps that transcend the general crypto community, real dApps with real revenue that transcend. I really think that'd be healthy as well. We talked about prediction markets. That might be the answer, but just stay sane. Oh
my gosh. Yeah. I don't know how many people have probably gone crazy this year, but it's got to be a lot. Matthew Malik says global DApp winners are needed.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your 2026 resolution?
I mean, I kind of just went through them. Like, I can go through the other fitness side of things. You know, January, the girlfriend and I decided like no alcohol in January, no fast food. Here's the issue that really gets me. I still think I'd be in a lot better shape right now if my diet weren't fully pizza, burgers, like fried chicken, tacos, and then just everything doused in cheese and bread.
So for those of you who don't know, there was a period in time where he would tell me he would just order pizza. And I know that your roommates told me this too. You would just order pizza every night for dinner almost, and you'd finish the whole thing by yourself.
Yeah, and a large pizza is a dinner.
And he would not put on any weight.
Well, I do that plus like a cheesy bread for dinner. One thing of cheesy bread and a large pepperoni pizza. That's dinner. And I'd still have abs, but I think that's the difference between being in your 20s and 30s. Like maybe if I still had fully healthy legs, like I could run the same way that I did in my 20s, where I just didn't get injured the next day, and like I could go for hours. But it doesn't work like that anymore. Oh, I love queso.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I gotta get my health in check this year and like actually work out. But I do have to probably get going. You're welcome to keep it going.
Well, I honestly probably got to get going too, but I did want to do one last stream for all of y'all for this year. We're going to do a lot more of this. Rich and I are going into the next year. And ideally, now that, I'm learning how to do the Streamlabs side of things, or StreamYard, or whatever it is, want to bring up a lot more guests as well. So be on the lookout for that. Going to do more hangs. Going to try to figure out also how to get I like a little music vibe in the background too. So going to try to figure that out. But yeah, we'll get all the things going. Appreciate y'all. And we'll see you guys next time. Awesome. Be more bullish. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.